All right, so this video, it's called The Truth About the Philippines, What They Don't Tell You. All right, let's get into this.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of The Philippines Truth. I'm making this channel to basically highlight all the lies that have been coming out from the Philippines from recent YouTubers. I've been in the Philippines for over 10 years and I've
Wow.
never seen so much social media misleading people coming to the Philippines. On this channel, I will tell you the truth about women, finances, business, the Filipino people. I will share real stories around the Philippines. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't think it's fair that these YouTubers, vloggers, and social media influencers are not telling you the complete truth about the Philippines. Yes, of course, this is a beautiful country with beautiful beaches, islands, and lots of nature. However, there's a whole other side that not many people talk about. And my intent is not to talk down on the Filipino people, but there are some glaring
Okay, right off listening to this, it sounds like he's using a voice changer. Like he doesn't want people to know his real identity. That makes you kind of look concerned. Or maybe he's just worried about his safety as well. Let me know what you guys think.
problems here, starting with the people. Now, many people think that the Filipinos are friendly, which they can be. However, a lot of times they want something from you. Starting from when you first land in this country to the moment that you leave, they will try to squeeze some money from you one way or another. I'm going to go much deeper into this topic later on. Going on to the women. Yes, the Filipinas are very attractive and caring, but however, many of them have children already, they have many relationships, or they just are simply after you to get something from you. In the Philippines, the wealth gap is quite obvious. You have the extremely poor and extremely wealthy here. The same can be applied for foreigners when they come here. If you have a little bit of money, you can get yourself a nice girl. However, if you're older, then that's not the case. If you're older and have some money as your pension or some savings, then you can most likely get yourself a young woman that is from the province. Now, there's a difference between the province and the city girls because the province girls will settle for anything. They do not care how old you are,
Oh,
where you come
wow.
from, as long as you can provide them with a better life situation. The better off Filipinas do not associate with foreigners that are much older than them because of societal pressure and shame on their family. Keep that in mind. Although it is much cheaper than the United States of America, it's still rather expensive
Yeah.
comparing it to other developing countries. Keep that in mind if you're planning on coming here and only living off a few $100s a month. It will not happen. You will need a couple thousand if you want to have a regular standard of living. If you want air conditioning, a kitchen, electricity, some of the usual things that you consider normal back home, you definitely have to pay for those things. Speaking of electricity, there are lots of blackouts here. Electricity goes out quite often, so you are forced to get a generator or stay in a condo that already has a backup generator. Now, these are all topics that I will go much deeper into, and I'll cover them in this channel. I will also share some stories that other expats have told me with actual footage and maybe searching through different groups and social media to bring those to your attention. I just don't want people coming here and getting taken advantage of because it can be really stressful coming from a new country, and the first thing that you have to deal with is people trying to take advantage of you. If
Yeah.
you are older and require medication, it can be difficult obtaining the meds that you need. They are expensive or just not available, just like many other things in the Philippines. This is very common at restaurants, at services, different places you go to. Many Filipinos will not have what you're looking for. Being out of stock is a common issue, mainly due to logistics, transportation, and incompetence. Filipinos are on island time, they don't care as much, and they simply are lazy at times. And
Wow.
getting the items that you need can be very challenging and frustrating, and at times life altering. because if you're a disabled person, it can really damage your health. Speaking of disability, do not even consider having a fun walk in regular cities, as there are no sidewalks here. Unless you go to a major developed area within the city, it's very difficult to find walking, pedestrian lanes, or
When I was in the Philippines, though, I found a lot of sidewalks everywhere, especially when you're in Manila. There's sidewalks all over the place. I don't know what he's talking about. BGC, green, any of the green belts areas, New Manila, stuff like that. They all had sidewalks. I mean, if you're in the provinces, of course, they're not gonna it's just gonna be the road. And most of the times, even in my country, like home country, we just walk on the road. People know to share the road with the people. So kind of expected. And plus, like he said, it's a developing country. So even in Canada, even here in Canada, there are places that don't have sidewalks. Just saying.
just even on the streets, you are always battling with stray dogs, vendors, food sellers, all the type of people that can be
Well,
on the
yeah,
street.
I can
And
imagine.
there are many beggars. One more thing that not many people mention is there are many homeless people in the Philippines, and they use their children, newborn babies, as bait. They carry them around and ask you for money, and they can be very aggressive at times, knocking on taxi windows to try to get your attention, pulling on your arm, or simply not leaving you alone until you give them
Yeah,
something. This happens
this has happened to me. And what I've noticed, when if you do give them money and like other people see, they all come rushing to you. They're like, "Oh, he's giving money. That guy." They all come rushing to you, and yeah, you try your best to give as much as you can, but at certain point, it's like, okay, I gave you something, but you're still here asking for more, and sometimes it's like, okay, you got to understand, you don't want to be greedy. Don't like it's okay. There's other people, but I understand where he's coming from. I've experienced this.
a lot more often than one might think, or as often as people on these vlogs or YouTube channels like to show you. There simply is just too many things to try and mention in this video. However, I will be making much more in-depth list of things to go over with examples and try to paint a more clear picture for you if you're considering the Philippines. Now, I highly recommend that you do your research before coming here. It can still be a good country if you know what you're doing.
Stay in the
Do not come
provinces.
here specifically for a woman because you will be disappointed most likely. You can find yourself a good woman here, but you have to be here to find those people. Many online women lie about their age, their marital status, or having children. That's another issue. Divorce is illegal in the Philippines.
Whew.
Many women are already married and they still want to find a foreign husband
Wow.
or boyfriend to be with, or simply for them to support their families. So, these are some topics I'll be going into.
Divorce is illegal.
Press the bell notification that you get notified when I release these content videos. Write your experience in the comments. Let me know that I'm not the only one that has experienced this. I've created this channel to build a community of us brothers to not be taken advantage of by anyone in the Philippines or any other country. Now, I've been here over a decade and have slowly noticed a change within this society, becoming much more westernized as well as much more advantageous of foreigners. There used to be a time where you can come here and enjoy the beauty of the surrounding beaches and the people. However, with the rise of social media, now it is easy for people to communicate across the world. So keep posted as I have many stories to share with you guys. In the next video, I will tell you top 10 lies about the Philippines. We'll make a list of things and go in depth in each one of those topics. Let me know what you think. Have you been to the Philippines before? Do you agree with what I'm saying, or do you strongly disagree? I understand that we all have different experiences.
Yeah,
However, majority of people only like to talk about
they're
the
good.
honeymoon period. Rainbows and sunshines and butterflies and unicorns are not reality. We live in a real world. People like you who have worked hard in this world to have a chance to retire or move abroad deserve better. We do not deserve to be taken advantage of or lied to. Maybe I will receive some hate messages due to this video. However,
Probably
it's
will.
worth telling the truth
I was thinking
and
about it.
informing everyone about the reality.
It's good that he's doing this. Like he said, everyone has different experiences. Yes, there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube about people talking about the great experiences, all the good stuff. Nothing really like horrible or bad. There's some things videos I watched about people say they don't come to the Philippines, but majority of it they still say it's like one thing that happened to them and it's just it was a bad experience. But they would still recommend people to come. This guy, I kind of like his channel. Reason being, because sometimes someone has to say like the negatives. There's always good things. There's always negatives, and most of the time, people got to be able to accept negativity as well. Like, but it has to be constructive. Like everything can't be perfect. It may be close to perfect, but I understand where he's coming from. Like you said, yes, I know Filipinos are very proud people, but at the same time, there's also you got to hear this guy out. There's also some bad things to it. Like that's what we need to understand. There's some bad as well. There's good and there's bad. So I kind of like this channel. I'm definitely going to be subscribing. You guys definitely need to subscribe to this if you want to hear. And if you guys want to put your opinion of what you think about the stuff that he says. Is it true? Is it not false? Like, you guys need to put the comments. That's what there's comments for, right? I read my comments. Sometimes I see a lot of people hate on me. And that's okay. That's their opinion. I don't let those haters affect me. Because at the end of the day, they're just people, keyboard warriors typing on the keyboard. I do go back to the people who give me positive feedback and I tell them, yo, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate it. Or thank you for sharing your stories with me. Like I usually go through and say, thank you for sharing stories. I really appreciate it. Or I tell people, congratulations. Someone told me they were married to a Filipino for like 30 years and it was the best decision ever because they were tired of dating people here in North America or the Western society. And they tell me, yeah, the best decision they ever did was going to the Philippines and finding their wife. And I hear a lot of those stories. I do hear some of the bad stories about, oh, a Filipino took all my money and left me. I hear that too, but I'm like thinking, what were you doing? Were you chasing out the young girls? Is that what it is? Were you chasing out the girls just, because you want to, do the deed with them? You were looking for actually a good girl, and that probably what happened, because trust me, majority of guys know when they see a good girl or a bad girl. You can see the characteristics of some girls and how bad they are. Like, I've been in some relationships where I know I shouldn't have been in those relationships, all right? I know. But I just stayed. But I know. But most guys, they know. All right? Like me at this point in my life, I'm not bothering with those relationships. I see those red flags. I'm going to bring it up right away. Straight up. Bring it up right away. Tell them what's going on. Are you playing me? Are we doing this? And if they can't give me a straight answer, if I sense like, yo, this girl is talking nonsense, I'm out. So like I said, the same thing happens anywhere you go. But majority of times, I'll be honest, a lot of my friends from the Philippines, or my friends here that went over to the Philippines and got a girlfriend or whatever, they tell me like the best decision ever. And just reading the comments, you see it's the best decision ever. You guys definitely need to subscribe to this guy, okay? I think he's really good. I'm watching a lot more of his videos.
That not everything is as beautiful as it might seem across the YouTube channels in the Philippines. There are so many issues that we as a community can fix together or at least bring attention to. So I'll see you in our next video where we'll talk about 10 different things, 10 biggest lies about the Philippines. See you on the next video.
Yeah, like, subscribe.